Good morning. I am driving an Mercedes-AMG A35 Sedan to a Volvo S60 meetup. So there's a Volvo S60 owners meetup today, and they dragged me in. And even though I'm no longer a Volvo owner, let alone I'm not a S60 owner, but nevertheless, I mean, you guys know I run Horizon. For those who don't know, I run a media company, also an advertising company that runs an automotive media, basically. Anyway, I am sponsoring videography and photography for their meetup today. I know very few of them. The S60 group, I know more of the XC90 group because I used to own XC90s. In fact, I've owned two of them. Anyway, this is my test car today. An Yeah, the A35. So I've driven the GLA 35 earlier on. I roughly know what to expect in this. Of course, lower riding. There's a boot behind. Excellent powertrain, engine and transmission. Beautiful dashboard. And probably that's about it. Alright. Oh my god, the way this car pulls! I mean, it's not as fast as the 45, and of course there are a lot more faster cars out there, but it's just the eagerness of the drivetrain. What do I mean by eagerness? Put it this way. On paper, this engine is 300-ish horsepower. Let me give you another 300-ish horsepower. The current generation Panamera. Okay? Not the 4S, not the S, just the Panamera. The 3-liter engine in the Panamera, also rated 330 horsepower. That is not an eager engine. That is a lazy engine. Or the pre-facelift Porsche Macan Turbo. The 3.6 turbo engine, which is rated 400-ish, is also a not eager engine. It is a lazy engine as well. A lazy engine, this is not, alright? Oh, it's so eager to wake up and rev and pull and do all kinds of shenanigans. Right? It is a naughty engine, a naughty drivetrain, and it sounds good. Is this? I mean, put aside whether it's augmented through the speakers or not. All right. At the end of the day, is you sitting in the driver's seat and listening to cars, a sound of cars that makes you excited. Of course, I don't mean those from the Kia Stinger or the Kia, was it the Kia Optima? Yeah, I think it's the Optima GT. You know, those get augmented sounds as well, but they are so fake. And Mercedes, let's talk about the C43 for a moment. The 43 engine as well, a very, very eager engine. A very lively, revvy engine as well. That car, even though a lot of people say that it is augmented, I mean, generating fake sound through the speaker, but if you're outside of the car, any AMG for that matter, if you're outside of the car, you hear a C43 turn out and accelerate, it sounds the same from the outside. It's a nice sound. And I've heard A35s, A45s as well. They sound great. For a 4-cylinder, it's a very unique, very naughty sound. Alright? That aside, how does the car ride? I believe you'll be able to see it from the footage yourself. Okay, it is not as bad as the first generation A45. It is not as bad as the Mini Cooper JCWs, alright? But it is a jiggly ride. It is a busy ride, which in anything dash AMG per se is completely acceptable. Yeah. Over aggressive traction control when you're in comfort mode, and also overly aggressive blind spot warning system. Yeah, it is a bit aggressive. I was in comfort mode just now, and the traction control keeps firing up. It is a wet morning, but it's not super wet. Ugh. And you know these modern cars, right? When the traction control kick in, I can barely hear the brakes in front. I can barely hear that. I don't feel that at all with my foot on the brake pedals, of course. These modern cars. Why did I switch on my camera? So initially I intend to record it on my way back. It's about 7:30 in the morning now, but I decided to run the camera because of the ambient lighting. Alright, it is, put aside whether I like it or not, it is beautiful. Alright, so to be a qualified product reviewer, you have to be able to judge something good or bad without intertwining with whether you like it or not. Make that very clear. A lot of people jumble these two things up. If they like it, then it's good. If they don't like it, then it's bad. You have to be able to split it. It has nothing to do with whether I like it or not. To be able to judge whether it's beautiful or not. It is beautiful. Yeah. And when I got out the car, it's in bright purple. I changed it to alternating colors. So it should go from purple to blue, and then from blue probably to, I don't know. Anyway. It's nice. Yeah, I should go here. Correct. Okay. Exciting car. But the thing is this. I'm hearing the popping sound now. Let's go back to comfort. Does it do comfort well? Just hilarious. Alright, put it this way. I like for the fact that from Mercedes' perspective, alright, you are the one who picked the AMG. It's your fault. So don't come to me and tell me that it is not as comfortable as a C200. You're the one who picked an A35, right? A-Class is our entry segment, and we make an AMG version for it to go really fast. But just because you bought a car to go really fast and spend C-class money, why are we compelled to give you C-class comfort? Alright? And that is a good way to tell you it's not comfortable. It bobs you around. And probably for some people, that's what they want initially. You see, when it comes to car ownership, for someone who owns supercars and set aside 300,000-400,000 to buy their family runabout vehicle, basically their family's MyV, is very different from someone who maxed out his budget at 300,000-400,000 to buy something like this. The perceived expectation is very different. If you maxed out your budget, or that's as far as you can go, 300,000-400,000, and this is in your radar, then you have to listen to this. That would meant your car ownership journey of this car would be a couple of years, and you want to use it daily. That's the car that you cherish. You bought PPF, you take care of it, you don't park under the tree, you're very careful with potholes and all that. Alright? Then you have to consider this. This car is a 3 to 4 month excitement kind of car. Basically, you bought the car, you feel excited, you rev it, you accelerate and all that. But 3 months down the road, you will be using the car as though it is your daily car. You just drive smoothly. You try to drive smoothly. You try to provide some level of comfort for your passengers. You use it, you fetch your colleagues, you fetch your kids to school. Then you have to think hard. Because for the supercar owner who has his 2,488,000 or F8 Tributo or his AMG GTR or his Porsche Targa, whatnot, he just wants a cheap, small car for him to drive around for meetings, to park by the side of the road, to park under the tree, to get hit by bird poop. He wouldn't even PPF it. He couldn't care less. He just wants a runabout. Basically, it would be his MyV or his Saga. This is the rich man's Saga, but he cannot accept a car that has less than 300 horsepower. A meaningful horsepower for him to overtake, for him to accelerate when there are weird cars around, So it's a very different perception. For those people, they can buy this car, have fun for 3 to 6 months, and then they spotted something else, they traded the car in, and then they get something else, right? They don't need to live with it daily. So do take note on that. Alright? Where should I kind of lost my way here. Am I going the right direction? I hope I am. Alright, I may need help from my sat-nav. Alright, I'll continue the video later and do a walk around. Cheers. That being said, it's really an exciting car to drive if you put aside the comfort and all that. And I also like the fact that they did not retard the throttle too much when you're in comfort mode. Alright, in comfort mode, it's bearable. Yeah, the car is noisy. I mean, in terms of how the wheels transfer the road impurities to you, it is a busy car. But even in comfort mode, they did not retard the car. The car is still plenty fast. It brakes straight. It is an exciting car. It is Mercedes' automatic transmission, not 3 liter, it's 2 liter, but it is Mercedes' equivalent of an automatic transmission FD2R. Alright, it's not comfortable, but it sounds good. It pulls you. It ignites your passion for the first 3 months. Okay, I shouldn't say that. No, it is an exciting car. I mean, contrary to this, whenever I drive an AMG, let's say an E63 AMG, in comfort mode, is less comfortable than an M5 in sports mode. But the E63 just brings out the Godzilla in you. You know, you go mad, you go crazy. Whereas the M5 or the RS6, you can tune it to comfort mode and then the whole car retard down and just behaves like a 5 Series in comfort, in absolute daily mode. Alright, so I'm here. This is Ara Damansara, Sime Darby's, a place where Mercedes-Benz, well, that is really far for you to give me a warning, to be honest. Alright, let's make a right turn. Most Mercedes that comes here is for trade-in, because Sime Darby is the big BMW dealer. Porsche, Volvo, Jaguar, Ford, BYD, Mini, and they don't deal with Mercedes-Benzes. Alright? Alright, I'm here. You know what's the allure of an AMG? This. Oh, the brakes are strong. So this is the kind of car for people who always wake up late. Alright? If you always miss your alarm clock, you wake up late, you're always rushing. I've always said this, the Mercedes-AMGs, the AMGs are always the fastest cars in real world because it's straight up hooligan, everything rolled in one. And yeah, it makes you illegal. It was designed to be illegal. But these days you can't make marketings like that. You know, those days you can. Oh well. But it's just exhilarating. Look at this Mazda 3 in front. It's so beautiful, so high quality interior. Why can't that have this car's drivetrain? Right? Imagine if the Mazda 3 has this. Okay, I want the steering wheel as well. This steering wheel and this engine, this sound, this excitement, this performance in that car, right? And then you wonder, this car has this kind of performance, this engine. Why doesn't it look like that? You know, or as refined as that, or as high quality as that? I mean, this one is beautiful, no doubts, but in terms of touch points, quality of materials, the moment you move below your eye level, everything sort of falls apart. But like I said, Mercedes don't care because they have the most beautiful and best steering wheel in the business, bar none. and this kind of performance, and people will buy their cars. Yeah. Beautiful graphics, beautiful infotainment as well. Very easy to use. I would say it's the easiest to use now amongst the premium brand. Volvo is easier, but Volvo has less things, less playful stuffs in the car for you to play around. Mercedes has more, way more, right? So, yep. I'm supposed to review the car, but today is doing the videos and photography and drone shot of the Volvo V60 S60 gathering just now. Now they all head for breakfast. Thanks to Swedish Auto Damansara for sponsoring breakfast, while I sponsor photography, videography, right? Which is way more expensive. Anyway, today's test car is the A35 AMG. It's a bonkers little car. Alright. The A-Class it's not the second generation A-Class, but nobody wants to remember the old A-Class. There were two more generations before these, but the two older A-Class, they are like tiny mini MPV kind of cars, right? They are closer to a Myvi or a Honda Jazz than they are closer to an Audi A3 or BMW 1 Series. So let's forget about the embarrassing past, because the A-Class was notorious for its little reindeer test. You all can Google yourself. So this is we call it the second generation A-Class, even though it's not the second generation, right? Because in terms of product portfolio, the previous A-Class is when Mercedes truly stepped into the premium compact hatch market. And then from there they created the CLA, which is like the swooping back 4-door frameless door sporty sedan. And then they have the GLA, which is the small crossover thingy. Now come to this new generation. Of course they have improved a lot, because the previous A-Class, the ride was horrible, the build quality was horrible, but the car drive well. The engine was the killer. All right, that engine was amazing. Now fast forward to this generation, the car is a lot larger, it's a lot more comfortable, but by no means it is considered comfortable in the eyes of these boys. All right, and another thing with the A-Class that is very apparent is the choice of materials. This entire door panel is a single piece mold, you know, not the greatest of plastic quality, but not as bad as the GLA though. I drove the GLA. The GLA's plastics were worse than this, and there were some parts that are just, I mean, put it this way, this is an A-Class, and there's a Burmeister logo, but these speakers are just not up to par to be even named Mercedes-Benz, let alone Burmeister. Okay, but nevertheless, this is the A35. You don't get the proper 45 seats, you get normal Mercedes seats, but under the bonnet is a proper engine, a hot hatch engine that is just exhilarating to drive. This dashboard has to be one of the most beautiful dashboards in the market. This steering wheel is certainly the most beautiful, the best steering wheel in the business, I have to say. It's just so good looking. The choice of material, the design, the placement of stuff, changing of driving modes, everything is just so nice. But it's not exactly the most well built interior. Alright, but again, this is an A-Class. Alright, so that's what Mercedes does, which Volvo doesn't do that. You will notice the XC40's interior is largely made of the same quality as that of a XC60, the same fit and finish as an XC90, say for example. Alright, so front seats are of course the same with the hatch, but then as you come to the rear seats, It's pretty tight in here. It's a small car. It's the kind of accommodation that you get from a very old Proton Saga. Okay. Yeah, it's just a small car inside here, so don't expect much. And look at my feet, size 11.5. Yep. And again, the same plastic moldings. I don't notice that last time. I'm gonna take extra attention to these because it's children that's gonna sit behind here, and these are too sharp to be considered safe in, and let alone from Mercedes-Benz. I don't think Peroda will commit that kind of mistake. Alright, the seats are alright, I would say. I get headroom. I'm sitting on a higher plane than the front passenger, so visibility is very good from behind here. Knee room as well is alright. One fist, and then visibility is great looking out, so no issues with that. Doors open easily. The passenger door doesn't close that easy. You need to slam it a few times to get it shut. So, and this sedan has a large boot given the fact that it's a sedan, and you get levers here to drop the seats down, and these are all made of plastics and all that. So yeah, you don't expect this level of finishing or fit and finish on this car. Alright, but what do you get for this price? Very fast engine until about 170, 160, 170, and then it tapers off. So for similar price, the M340i is more spacious, more comfortable, faster, but this one has that allure of a small pocket rocket that you zip around. Alright, so yep, this is the A35 4MATIC Turbo. It's not a bad looking car, but I would suggest you, if you want a pocket rocket, just get the hatch. The sedan just doesn't, how do I put it? Yeah. I mean, you buy the hatch, right? It tells people you want a sporty, small Mercedes that you can use daily. You buy the sedan, right? You are only telling people that you cannot afford the C-Class, the C43 and so forth. Alright, so just go get the A35 hatch or the A45 hatch. Alright? Cheers. That's what they mean by pocket rocket. Silly little car. No, it's not silly, it's devastatingly fast. For what is a small package. thing. I can comment all I want about the build quality, the space and whatnot, but if you look at the future of serene quietness, we need this type of insanity to keep us sane. Do you understand that? I mean, I know a quiet place is comfortable, but if you put me in a quiet room with a lot of cushion, with no one bothering me, I'm supposed to be comfortable, it's gonna drive me insane. And we humans need a little bit of fun, a little bit of naughtiness, a little bit of insanity to keep us in check. And for what's gonna come in the car industry, I really have to thank car makers like Mercedes-Benz still have these sort of craziness in them. And for them to bring the level of insanity from the likes of V8, V6, you know, to these types. I mean, put it this way, 2-liter turbocharged 4-door insanity. Japanese done that in the 90s, right? The Japanese with their Imprezas and their Evos, they've done it in the 90s or 80s. But with car makers like BMW, Audi, you know, Mercedes-Benz doing it as well now, they add in a tinge of style and flair and just makes the whole package that much more civilized compared to, you know, an Evo grinding his gear with his big wing rolling up to the front of the hotel. No, I mean, yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of things that I can judge these kind of cars with my left brain, but there is also a lot of qualities that you cannot quantify, especially with regards to the emotional aspect of things. And yeah, this is what I think is lovely. Crazy little car like this. Yeah. Cheers. Very fast, from standstill to about 130, 140 km/h, and beyond that, you can totally tell the way it tapers off against the likes of M340i, you know, or A45 for that matter, or even, interestingly, a Golf R. Even though the Golf R on paper sort of measures about the same horsepower. Yeah, interesting.